Hello everyone. Today we will read the chapter The Wolves of Cernogratz, written by Saki. There was a legend associated with the castle of Cernogratz. When someone dies in the castle, wolves from the forest come up and howl. The dogs in the village howl in response, and a tree crashes down in the park. Was it true? Or the truth was something else? Let's read the chapter to understand. Are there any old legends attached to the castle? Asked Conrad of his sister. Conrad was a prosperous merchant, but he was the one poetically dispositioned member of a highly practical family. Poetically dispositioned means Conrad was imaginative, while the rest of his family members were practical minded. They didn't believe in any legend or superstition. The Baroness Groebel shrugged her shoulders. Baroness means wife of a baron. Who is a baron? Baron is an important or powerful person in a specified business or industry. Shrugged. Shrugged means to raise the shoulders, especially to express uncertainty. There are always legends hanging about these old places. In this case, there is a story that when anyone dies in the castle, all the dogs in the village and the wild beasts in the forest howl the night long. It would not be pleasant to listen to, would it? It would be weird and romantic, said the merchant. Baroness Groebel, who was living in the castle, replied and told his brother that there was a legend associated with the castle that when someone dies in the castle, wolves from the forest come up and howl. The dogs in the village howl in response, and a tree crashes down in the park. The Baroness was realistic. She thought the mourning would be annoying. But her brother, Conrad, said it might be quite exciting because it was unusual. Anyhow, it isn't true, said the Baroness. Since we bought the place, we have had proof that nothing of the sort happens. When the old mother-in-law died last springtime, we all listened. But there was no howling. It is just a story that lends dignity to the place without costing anything. But the Baroness did not believe the legend, because when her mother-in-law died there, nothing like that happened. She further added that such kind of stories make the place worthy of being honored. The story is not as you have told it, said Amelie, the grey old governess. Everyone turned and looked at her in astonishment. She was used to sitting silent and prim and faded in her place at the table, never speaking unless someone spoke to her, and there were few who did. Today, however, she continued to talk, rapidly and nervously, looking straight in front of her and seeming to address no one in particular. Prim means to behave in a correct and proper manner, not approve anything wrong. And governess means a woman who lives with a family and teaches their children at home. However, when the Baroness explained this to her brother, Conrad, Emily, her employee, corrected her. It is not when anyone dies in the castle that the howling is heard. It was when one of the Cernogratz family died here that the wolves came from far and near and howled at the edge of the forest just before the death hour. And the dogs of the castle and the village and all the farms round would bay and howl in fear and anger at the wolves' chorus. And as the soul of the dying one left its body, a tree would crash down in the park. But for a stranger dying here, of course, no wolf would howl and no tree would fall. Oh no. According to Emily, it was only when a von Cernogratz died in the castle those things happened. There was a note of defiance, almost of contempt, in her voice as she said the last words. The Baroness stared angrily at the old woman. Defiance means disobedience, and contempt means lack of respect. So the lady soon realized, Emily soon realized that she had shown disrespect to her employer. That's why she used the word oh no at the end. So it is improper for an employee to disgrace her employer, especially in front of a guest. And yet the governess was bold enough to go beyond the rules of proper behavior because she knew her mistress had got the details wrong, and so she corrected her, though her behavior annoyed the Baroness. You seem to know quite a lot about the von Cernogratz legends, Fräulein Schmidt, she said sharply. I did not know that family histories were among the subjects you are expert in. Fräulein is a way to address an unmarried German-speaking woman. The Baroness insulted Emily, who, according to her, was pretending to know more than the Baroness. The answer to her taunt was even more unexpected and astonishing. I am a von Cernogratz myself, said the old woman. That is why I know the family history. And the reply was quite astonishing for the Baroness, as Emily said that she knew the legend and family history since she belonged to the Cernogratz family. You are a von Cernogratz? Came in an incredulous chorus. Incredulous means unable to believe something. Chorus means when everyone speaks together. So the guests find it difficult to believe because they could not imagine that a person from such an old and popular family had become poor enough to earn her living as a governess. When we became very poor, she explained, and I had to go out and give teaching lessons, I took another name, but my grandfather spent much of his time as a boy in this castle, and my father used to tell me many stories about it. And, of course, I knew all the family legends. When one has nothing left to one but memories, one guards and does them with special care. I little thought when I took service with you that I should one day come with you to the old home of my family. Emily then told that she took another name when her family became poor and she had to work as a governess. And now there was nothing else left with her apart from the memories which she had preserved within herself with utmost care. She also told her that when she started working with the Baroness, she wasn't aware that one day she would get a chance to visit the old home of her family. There was silence when she finished speaking, and then the Baroness turned the conversation to other topics. But afterwards, when the old governess had slipped away quietly to her duties, there arose a clamor of disbelief. Clamor means loud and confused noise. So as soon as the governess left the place, the people there started discussing about what Emily just now told. It was an impertinence, snapped the Baron. I don't believe a word of it. She is just Schmidt and nothing more. She has been talking to some of the peasants about the old Cernogratz family and dug up their history and their stories. I suppose her grandfather was a pantry boy or something of the sort in the castle. He sniggered. That part of the story may be true. Impertinence means lack of respect. Snapped means to speak loudly. And the word sniggered means to laugh at someone in an unkind way. So the Baron said that it was more likely that she learned the story from the villagers. Her grandfather might have been a pantry boy rather than a proper resident of the castle. Pantry boy means someone who works in a room used for storage or from which food is brought to the table. Children, that's all for today. Remaining part of the chapter we will cover in the next video. Thank you.